Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Kaiwaza and we are going through my Exotica record collection today. We're on the letter D. We're looking at Martin Denny, and I know many people are, or several people, whatever, are looking forward to seeing all the Martin Denny records. I'm going to pick up where I left off, and the records I'm going to show you now are like the earlier, I think, the earlier records from his career, and they all feature Sandy Warner on the cover. I don't really know why, but like for some reason they were obsessed with the cover model Sandy Warner, and she was like on all of their early records. So the one we saw yesterday, or the other day, was Quiet Village, Martin Exotic Sounds of Martin Denny, and this is Sandy Warner. And now she's featured on all the other or subsequent albums for quite a while. I mean, they did eventually stop using her, but she was like on all the early ones. Here's Exotica with Sandy Warner. This also has Quiet Village, Return to Paradise, Lotus Land on Liberty. And these records are all like just classic Martin Denny sound of bird calls and percussion and xylophone and piano. Exotica Volume 2, Sandy Warner as a brunette. Isle of Dreams is a really nice song on this album. Ebb Tide, Lily Way, or the Queen's Chant, I like that. Taking Us on Another Journey, Exotica Volume 3 with a blonde Sandy Warner. And here is the group at, I believe, what they say, International Marketplace? I think it's the International Marketplace, this Tiki. We still have an International Marketplace here in Waikiki, but it was torn down, the original one, and there's a new one that's been built. That it's all very beautiful and all that, but it's very upscale and just not, not at all like what it used to be, sadly. So, but life goes on. Sandy Warner again, this one a little different. Martin Denny, Exotic Sounds Visit Broadway. So these are all Broadway show tunes. Carousel Waltz, September Song, Strike Up the Band, Hernando's Hideaway. All songs from Broadway, but done in the exotic Martin Denny style. Likewise, this one, Martin Denny's Exotic Sounds from the Silver Screen. So as you can guess, these would all be songs from films. Frankie and Johnny Over the Rainbow, We're Off to See the Wizard, Singing in the Rain, all given the exotic clip art there in the back. Nice Exotica treatments. Sandy Warner, again on the cover. Martin Denny's Exotic Percussion. I kind of like this cover. She's looking very exotic there. Sort of an auburn-haired. She had every hair color, I guess, known to man. This has Moonlight and Shadows, My Tane, Cherokee, Girlfriend of the Whirling Dervish, Song of the Bayou. This is a kind of a good record, actually, in my personal opinion. But lots of bird calls on that one. Here on a nautical journey, we see Sandy Warner, The Enchanted Sea. This is one of the earlier records, I should say, I had of Martin Denny too, probably after the first ones I shown you. This one I had for a long time. Trade Winds, Flotsam and Jetsam. This is all nautical theme songs. The Enchanted Sea, Offshore. This is a nice one too. A very unusual arrangement of Sentimental Journey. Yeah, very like orientalized rendition. Aphrodisia, The Exotic Sounds of Martin Denny. Interestingly, as a blonde. For Aphrodisia, I don't know. And a lot of African themes. Temptation, Aku Aku. I guess not all African at all, but whatever. Jungle Drums, Machumba, the Tsetse Fly. It's great stuff, these records. Cultural Appropriation Gone Wild. Primitiva, the exotic sounds of Martin Denny. Sandy Warner looking very primitive indeed. Kalua, Flamingo, Llama Serenade, Jamaica Farewell. All these early records on Liberty Records. Yeah. Hypnotique. Now this is the album that the original version of Jungle Madness is on. And like I said before, to me it's the quintessential song of Martin Denny. I mean, I love Jungle Madness. An American in Bali, which is a takeoff on An American in Paris. Voodoo Dreams, Chinese Lullaby. Okay. Now here's a couple of them that are of interest. Yeah. Romantica, the lush and exotic sounds of Martin Denny. This one's a little bit different because it's not Hawaiian songs, but all kind of romantic ballad songs. But given that Martin Denny treatment, and they also have like a string orchestra in the background, so it sort of, you know, elevates it to a little more classy level or whatever. Blue Paradise, this is where this one comes from. Magic is the Moonlight, My Reverie, My Romance. Now, if you pay attention to this particular picture of Sandy Warner, because the next one I'm going to show you is going to look very similar. This is the Exotica Suite, composed by Les Baxter, but featuring the musicians Martin Denny and together with the orchestra of C. Zentner. Obviously, you know, taken at the same photo shoot with a little accoutrement changed. Now, I always thought, you know, when I first had gotten this, that something was missing. Like there must have been a tiki or something on here, and this was like, you know, had come off. But I've learned that that's not true because every other copy I've seen of it since then is exactly the same way. So I don't know exactly why they just put burlap on the flip there, but some of this album I really like, some of it not so much. Tiki, The Enchanted Reef, Demons and Dragons, Stolen Idol, Lotus Pool. But it's kind of a you know, there is a big band here going on. This isn't, by the way, this is an audition copy. You know, so it's Martin Denny, but with like a full big band, and it gets very big band-like sometimes. Okay, now, I point these out also because if you have some other records, these pictures may sort of look familiar because these photo shoots were used for other records on budget labels. For example, on the Polynesians on Crown Records. Here we see, just to show you, Miss Sandy Warner, obviously the same photo shoot. And we see on yet another record, Custom Records, the Lush Orchestra, Temptation, which is really just a big band record, but they're sort of trying to disguise it as Exotica. It's really just big band, but the song titles certainly are, you know, Temptation, Moonglow, Nightmare. Obviously, we have kind of same thing going on here, like little different background or whatever, but obviously the hair and makeup and everything is the same. So, all right, I'm going to stop there and we're going to hear some samples. cool stuff, yeah, Martin Denny. You know, Exotica music was very, very popular all over the country, all over the world, really. Of course, then it kind of faded out. But it's really gone under some periods of revival, where sort of revivalist Exotica bands are coming up. We're in kind of a period like that now, where there are actually some things coming out on CDs and even, you know, new vinyl releases of bands doing music really very much in the Martin Denny style, Exotica style. So it's kind of fun to see that coming up, and some of it's quite nice. So, you know, check around for the new stuff too. But what I'm showing you is just the vintage vinyl. So more Martin Denny next time.